Hi everyone. Today we are going to be busting some homeschooling myths, and we call it the Homeschool Unfiltered. We have two amazing moms, which makes us three amazing moms. I'm just calling myself an amazing mom because we are homeschooling moms. And so I will let the other two moms introduce themselves. And as the name suggests, it's Homeschool Unfiltered. So we will be talking about what is homeschooling, what it has been for us, and what it truly means. What's the true essence of homeschooling? So Sandhya and Sharmila, welcome on the amazing conversation, chat, chai pe charcha that we are going to have. So please go ahead, Sandhya, and introduce yourselves.
Hi. Okay. My name is Kandya Vishwan, and I've been homeschooling or unschooling since 2009. So that's quite a few years. But my children are now out of school going age. They are 24 and 18 years old. And I also help a lot of homeschooling parents find their own journey. Okay. Because it's different for all of us. So, yeah.
Amazing.
Sharmila?
Sharmila.
So hi everybody, this is Sharmila here. I'm an unschooling mom to three. I started much later, into around 2017-18 is when our journey started. However, the quest to find the right way for educating my children was there since they were born. So, since the oldest was born, he's 20 years old. So, we've tried to figure out our way by trying out various things. Now, here I am, um, an unschooling parent today, talking to all of you. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So, well, as you all know that I've been homeschooling for past 7.5 years. So we also started, I think, similar time, 2017-ish, because that time my son was six-ish. Okay. So, it has been and for us as well, it has been a blend of homeschooling and unschooling. Let's dig in. Like, what is homeschooling? Let's just burst the
Okay.
balloon.
Yeah.
Okay, so I also think, because I think those lines are very blurred when it comes to homeschooling or unschooling, but the general thought process of other people, not the homeschoolers, because for us it's all unschooling, is that homeschooling comes with a structure of academics or a
Right.
timetable of sorts, while
Hmm.
unschooling is just left to themselves, free as a
बच्चे छोड़
bird.
दिए हैं.
हाँ, बस. So that's the definition that people look at, but yeah, we know it's different.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so for me also, just like Sandhya says, homeschooling is about educating your children at home and bringing in a structure, doing the academic work which was kind of farmed out to a school, now doing it at home where the parents either hire tutors or they teach the children themselves. But this is one, part of the entire gamut of homeschooling, unschooling. And while there are some people like me and Sandhya who don't do anything with the children, we just let them be and let them figure out for themselves what they want to do and how they want to live their lives. And we just become facilitators in their journey, trying to make it happen for them, whatever they want to do, we put in all our energies to make it happen for them. So that's how I look at the homeschooling, unschooling pendulum. There are two different extremes, one where there's structure and one where there's absolutely no structure, complete freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how homeschooling we can sum it up as it's basically customized education where you see what suits your family, your child's needs, and then let the child drive the car and you are like sitting there and okay, just guiding or probably telling, okay,
Instructor.
this is the accelerator, this is the, brake or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right?
Yeah. Initially, and then they're
Initially,
driving on their own.
initially, and then
And
they
then
are
they come back.
like all self-driven because at the end of the day, we have to create or develop, and not just as a homeschooling parent, but as a parent, to make the children not just independent but self-driven is the word that we look for,
Right.
right?
Correct.
Right, right. Yeah, and it's basically about children finding what they would like to do. So whether if a child enjoys academics, it's fine
Correct.
because that's what
Absolutely.
they want to do. If a child is into sports, that's also fine. And if a child doesn't want to do anything and just be and just
That's also
explore
fine.
multiple things or not explore multiple things also, just be around, taken each day as it comes, that's also fine. So it's about following what the child wants to do, being with the child, seeing things from the child's perspective, from the way the child wants to lead their own lives.
Right, right.
Right.
Yeah, so like Sandhya's, I think so. I don't know the older one or the younger one is in squash, right? He plays.
Yeah, the younger one. The older one, just as Sharmila said, the older one is academically inclined. He was gifted in music. He was also technical brain, academics, was his, like a typical school. So even though we were unschooling, he was the one who created his own timetable. He would get his books. He would study on his own. It looked like a school at home because that's what he wanted.
Right,
Not that we ever sat and told him to do that. We were only there for his doubt clearing. Other than that, nothing. The younger one is into sports. And very interestingly, if you see, the older one who's academically inclined never went to college. And he is independent since he was 19. Now he's 24,
wow.
financially as well. While the younger one, who is bindas fellow, is the one who's gone to college now.
Lovely.
You never know how that path turns out.
Mm.
Beautiful,
True.
beautiful.
No?
Sharmila, please tell us.
Yes, yes. For us, see, my older one was again, like Sandhya's older one, he was the one who was labeled as the gifted child, and he was studying 2 years ahead of his age
He is
all
the
the
first
time.
ones.
And yeah,
The
he's the
first one selected.
firstborn. However, he did not enjoy, being pushed into competitions and being pushed to be doing
Hmm.
things just, and he would say, why should I just do this for a certificate? That was his
Hmm.
question. He
Hmm.
just couldn't see the relevance. And now he's 20. He's at Ashoka University. When he was around 15, he spent about 6 months at Auroville, and he came back and said that I want to give my boards and I want to go into higher education. And he selected the IGCSE curriculum. So uh, he put, he himself researched on what could he do, and he decided on IGCSE. He completed his IGCSE within 6 months of studies. He did his A levels. He took his time to do A levels, and now he's at Ashoka University in his first year. Unlike most children who complete their 12th at the age of 18, or 17. He completed his 12th or the A levels at the age of 19, and he's really happy. He's really happy. So
And
age
that's
is
the
no problem.
beauty. That's the beauty. Whenever they're ready, they can take it. Actually, both my boys finished at 17 also. Both of them finished their 12th by 17. But
Right,
it's not that it was forced on them. For
exactly.
one, it was just I chose and he went. Right? So if you see other homeschoolers also like us, all of them have been doing this at different ages.
Exactly.
It
So
does not matter. They
it
take it
does.
when they're ready.
Just like
You
my
just
son
need
And
to
it,
at a very early age, like at 12,
exactly.
IGCSE. But for ASA levels, we took a year, like I don't know whether to call it a break, a gap year, or a breather. But because he was young and now he's
Mm,
joined college for AS levels, and that too,
mm.
but still he is like what, 14 now.
He's
He
younger,
will be
14.
14,
Huh?
actually, not yet 14.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
the beauty of homeschooling is again, so when we say customized education, I'll like to emphasize that word. It is even with the age, the flexibility. And like Sharmila said, I'll just like to add to that, like when you said your son didn't find that whole thing idea of, entering into competitions and being over competitive and getting the certificates. My son has that kind of a brain somewhere, and he is more into like, how does it matter? And so, in fact, he does very bad in those kind of over competitive Olympiads, or where, there is a time constraint. So he looks at maths as Shakespeare would look at poetry. And he will take his own sweet time, and he loves maths, and he has an inbuilt ability to do well in maths. Some people have that, which I don't. So, but the thing is, on the contrary, if he gives an Olympiad, he is very bad with it. So I think it's understanding what your child needs and requires, and accordingly letting them do. And
Correct.
just like, once a wise person has said, like, if you ask a fish to go and climb a tree, he's obviously going to not
Going to
True.
we are aiming to equip them to make their decisions,
correct.
not guiding them into anything else. And I've seen amongst many of us homeschoolers, that they can take their decisions much earlier than other children who are out of college and then expected to make their own decisions.
Right, right, right.
True. True.
That
And
that is kind of common.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
One thing that I would like to add over here is that each child is different.
Correct.
So, and that's what is also coming up from our discussion with Amrita's son, acing the IGCSEs at the age of 12, whereas my son gave them at the age of 17. And Sandhya's children also gave IGCSE at the age of probably 15, because they did their A levels by 17. And my second son gave his NIOS. He chose to give NIOS instead of doing IGCSE. So, this whole thing of comparing boards and all that
Yeah.
is like a myth. Yeah, I know Sandhya's second son also opted for NIOS.
NIOS.
And yeah. So you have to do what you are comfortable about. And when the children make their own decisions or make their choices, they own it. And in fact, I don't remember helping Sidhu with his dashboard, NIOS dashboard and all. He figured his way out by himself.
They
All
do.
I had to do was, pay his fees,
Pay.
because for that he's dependent on us, and do the pickups and drops whenever he wanted to, because, yeah, he can't get a license at the age of 15. That's the only difference. Otherwise,
He
they are in
probably
charge.
wishes.
Yeah, I do wish at times that they got their license much earlier to drive, but that's not the case. So yeah. So that's how things are. They're so beautiful, in fact, if you look at them in a different way.
Since we spoke about different boards, like your children, like Sandhya's one son gave Cambridge, the other one gave NIOS, same with Sharmila. So, what is, I mean, I don't get it when there is such a big fuss about which board to choose, schooling or homeschooling, either ways. And I think it's a decision, it's a conscious decision, and one needs to, I think so, think, do their own research, and then introspect, and then take that decision that, okay, which board suits us, because it can't be guided by someone else, like, by ye acha hai, ye karo. There's nothing acha and bura, right?
There's no one size fits all. I've been asked this question because I also work in the industry. I'm also a consultant in the same thing about which board to take and what to do. So there I do guide them so that they can make the informed decisions
Correct.
on what to look at. There is When they ask me about which board is the best, I say there are no board. Every
There's
board
nothing good and
actually
bad.
looks at the child. Yes, every board is good. Even our state board is
It
looking at
is.
the child only. It's
Yes.
only sometimes that the school has its own version of doing things which might not be suitable or a fit. And I'm not even saying this again, homeschoolers also. Many parents have this impression. So I'll just give an example. I know a parent who's very upset and disappointed. He has taken the choice to homeschool. His children are not doing it the way he envisioned. He wanted them to explore academic things and go at their own pace. they are interested in something else like baking or gardening. One child is probably interested in robotics, which he's happy about, but not on the academics. This parent had an expectation, which even with homeschoolers, I say, if you have that, please don't homeschool.
Correct.
Then a school is better equipped to do that.
Absolutely.
So it's not that everything is hunky dory even in homeschool land.
Right, right. I feel that this entire thing that parents get into is comparison and wanting their children to be the best. You know, but what they don't realize is if we have, say, about 10 million, 15 million children in India, you can't really have everybody being the
At this
topper,
time.
right? So, and life doesn't require toppers. Life requires people that fit into the areas that
Where
are
they are.
required. Like, the
Yeah.
job market, if you look at it, there are
Yes.
certain engineers that are required, certain architects, certain literature, people into literature, writers, certain people who have other skills. So it's a very,
So
the entire,
all kinds to meet
yeah,
the,
yeah,
yeah. And
yes,
we need everybody. Just because AI is the thing now, we cannot have everybody as AI experts, right? We need
true.
Absolutely.
people to do. Even if you have a doctor, you need a nurse, you need an attender, you need a pharmacist, you need everybody. So there's nothing that you need to look to, be it schooling or homeschooling or unschooling.
Correct.
It's about, like Sharmila just said, finding that right fit on where do
For
you
your
fit
child.
in. And
Correct.
yes,
Correct.
and then
Yeah.
they take their path. Even that could change, right? Many of us are not
Changes, it
even
keeps
working in
changing.
the
And
fields that
change is the only constant, and we have to change. I mean, let's call it evolve, right? Because that is what evolution has taught us, and we need to evolve, we need to upgrade, and that is a change. And why not? I mean, the kids need to. So, like Sharmila mentioned about comparisons. So, Sharmila, you have three kids, right? Why talk about 15 million, 100 million kids in India or around the world? Even three kids, they might be so different, poles apart.
they
Like,
are.
Yeah,
right?
They are.
Two kids, you have two kids.
they are. They
So
are.
They are.
even the twins are not similar. And
Yes.
still, you want to compare a classroom filled with 80 children to each other and say who's best and who fits what. So it is not
True.
that, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
You
So, in
can't.
fact, a lot of people used to ask me that who's your favorite and are you partial? And I would say, I treat each child differently.
Correct.
I'm not going to, so if one son wants a laptop, it doesn't mean the other son also wants. I should get a laptop for the other one also, or I should get it at that particular age itself. To be fair, I think these norms of partiality and fairness don't apply because each child is different. One might want a laptop, the other might want a skating board, or he might want to go for a trip elsewhere. And similarly, the third might want something totally different. So you have to go by, what makes your child tick
Makes.
rather than. And then one is sensitive, the other is not. One can take harsh words very easily, the other one and is more soft. And you need to really weigh on how you talk to that person to help them understand. So even their ways of making sense of the world or sense of whatever is being told them is different. So how can you treat them the same? So
No.
they have to be treated differently.
You treat them the way each one needs to be treated.
Exactly. And
Right.
I loved
Is the
it
fair.
because otherwise, so we homeschoolers, one typical question we get is, what about socialization? I think Sharmila just answered,
Yeah,
like all three kids react and behave differently to all the three different, I mean, their
I
own.
was going to I was going to add to that with an example. So before this, the topic that we were just talking, a part of the reason why people are hesitant to homeschool is also the brickbats that come from others in society, the
Hmm.
judgmental
Log kya kare?
attitude. Okay. So adults themselves don't know how to handle it. How will you help the children? Now,
Yeah.
leading on from there, the same question has come up, obviously, with us also. But luckily, we stay in an area where people do go abroad and come back. So they were aware of the concept of homeschooling, though not in India. So we didn't have brickbats and things. We were lucky that way. However, this question always came up. And if children would be the ones who are, I wouldn't say they're mean, but for them, anything different is something that they will question or ask, even school going children. So my older son was affected in a certain way. And I asked him, how do you want to deal with it? I left it to him. We had this conversation, but he deals with it. Right. So the older one, because he is competitive, he would compare, or not even compare, he wants to be the best. He doesn't want to be seen as inferior. So he would immediately ask, when somebody asks him, do you know this? You don't know that because you're not going to school. And he would immediately ask them, do you know anything about music? Do you know this, that? He'll ask them that counter right there, but he'll come back home and figure this out, what they asked, because he didn't want to be left behind in any way. The younger one is a bindas fellow. If somebody asked him, don't you know this? He said, no, big deal. Okay, I don't know. It doesn't matter to him at all. And he would just coolly move out. I've also seen that he's very intuitive and he knows when an argument can ensue. So before it even gets there, he will slip away. He'll not even stay there to give a reason or an explanation or anything. Nobody will even realize. They've said what they have to say. He's left also the place. So each of them handle also that situation very differently.
Correct. Correct.
Right. So that I think that's another skill set that many of us, I mean, this is irrespective of homeschooling or schooling children who go to school. We talk about life skills and classes that are there for us as well as for school going children, but these cannot be done as separate boxes. These
Correct.
are things that we imbibe from how we do it. We adults do it around us. And like Sharmila was saying, watching out and helping each child according to their personality.
Their
That is what
personality.
is more.
That is so important. That is so important. And we can't be just labeled as ke, what about friends? Dost kahan milenge? How do you socialize? It
We
can't
get
be.
that we socializing, and now most of them when they interview me, I say, that's the least of our problems. It's actually the best reason to homeschool, because socializing actually happens here, unlike in a school where it is not only limited, it is set in a certain way. You are expected to behave in a certain way, right? While here, they are free. They mingle with different kinds of people from different walks of life, provided the family is also setting that environment or allowing them to. That is something to be noted. But otherwise, they get more opportunities to socialize and make friends, again based on their own personality. Some want just one or two true friends, and some of them want just lots of people around them. But that freedom is there, the time is there to be able to talk to people, meet them, do things together, do things you like without even having to talk, just meeting them. That is there with homeschooling, not at a school setup. They hardly have time today.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And today, the medium, there are so many mediums, no, to interact with others. Technology has taken us so far away, and you can communicate with, sitting in India with somebody who is in the US, in Australia, Europe, any part of the world. So, and yes, homeschoolers, what I have seen with my children, my oldest always seemed to be an introvert. However, he has this fixed set of friends, and he will he will have a ball with them. He knows that with them he can be himself, but with people he is not comfortable with, he is absolutely quiet. He won't even interact. He'll just say okay, hi, and just go away. So that's how he is. My second one is an extrovert. He loves being among people, but now I see he's also becoming choosy. He is also becoming selective about whom he talks to and whom he doesn't, and how far and how much. And very often, I saw right from before we were homeschooling also, they could catch people, trying to irk them or trying to just ask
Mm.
They
them
understand the
something.
vibes.
Yeah, but just because they were kids. So just kind of,
Mm.
how adults are, they kind of treat children as, some khilli udana ya mazak karna ya just, or mollycoddle
Petulant.
them by pulling
Petulant.
their cheeks and all that. But they could see through this and they were very clear that this is not, they always loved being treated as intelligent beings,
Mm.
and not as
Correct.
that typical sense of
Baby.
what we have about being children. So, and I could sense that. And I guess I tried to shove away people from doing things, and I would engage with them in intelligent conversations, and then people would see that, oh yes, they have a mind of their own and they can also contribute to conversations and so on. But very often they would get these vibes and then they would stray away to be
Mm.
doing whatever they wanted to. So, but I've always seen that, parents get very upset about this.
Yes.
Parents don't like it when children are not, being the good children, saying hello
Expected.
to visitors, or not sitting with them in the drawing room doing small chit chat. So parents are the ones who get upset, and they don't really see things from their children's point of view, where their children are, and that causes a rift. And once these rifts start coming in, then they build up, and then the relationship gets spoiled, or
True.
it becomes a power. There's a huge
Ah,
power dynamic
yeah.
between them. Yeah.
The adult and the child.
Yeah.
Just to add on to that also, okay, so I've seen other extremes as well, where the children are allowed to say as they please in the name of independence. I believe that should be, you can respectfully, a child or an adult for that matter, put across your thoughts very respectfully without being rude. Now, that extreme we need to be very careful about. I mean, this is again not just homeschoolers. I've seen this in school
Yeah, this
going
is
children
basic
as well.
parenting. Right.
Yes, it is respecting them as individuals, as Sharmila was saying, intelligent beings that we can have a conversation with. But the moment you go and try to ask them things like, "Oh, which is your favorite cartoon and which is your favorite book," without wanting to know much about
Sometimes they
it,
don't want to respond,
they,
it's
they don't
probably
want to respond because they
time.
know it's a very um, just
General
a
question.
question. Yeah, just a general question. You're not asking me which is my favorite book to have that conversation and understand me.
Yeah, yeah,
You're just asking me that because you need to ask something.
exactly.
So that's how intelligent they are, and then we try to see them as little. I mean, I've never done that even with my children as toddlers. I've always spoken to them as, what do you want, or how do
Right,
you do it,
right,
with
right.
no baby talk there. So I think others tend to expect, like Sharmila said earlier in our times, it was like "Ek Gana gao," or dance
Yeah.
kar, you come
Dance
and
karo.
Dance करके दिखाओ. Yeah, yeah.
था ना yesterday class में, whatever, you come and show
Sing,
and to
sing a
show that
song.
they.
Yeah, you have to show every time. Like, otherwise, how do you show your progress?
So
We are going
progress
to
as a parent,
continue this
it is
as a
judging
parent,
you,
as a
not the
parent.
children. Ah.
Yeah, so we are going to continue this conversation in the part 2 of this video. And so just stay tuned and we will do one more video on this unfiltered conversation.